Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to our lecturer, Surveyor Dr. Nurlisha Firsha binti Johaimili. So today our group will be presenting about the study of the property market trends during post-pandemic COVID-19, which determine the mechanism preferences to the buyers to determine their property choice under the government affordable housing scheme. These are our group members, which is Nur Aisyah Amira binti Nazaruddin, Nur Anisha binti Nur Arzan, Siti Aisyah binti Usuluddin, Luqman Hakim bin Ismail, and also Nurul Izzah binti Khairul Azmi. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Siti Aisyah binti Usuluddin, and today I will be presenting about the introduction part and also some part of literature review about the housing preferences of affordable housing in Malaysia. So when we talk about housing, housing is very vital needs, is a needs that every human needs. So the housing issues has been a major concern impacting the standard of living and well-being of people. So the development of affordable housing will provide affordable high-quality homes at low price, but it is limited for some people. So during the year 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the real estate sector, which leads to the redetermination of housing preferences based on the lifestyle changes. Hence, this study is very crucial to be conducted in order to determine the housing preferences of people in buying and affordable housing during the post-pandemic COVID-19. So the first-time home buyer might dream for a good house which is well equipped with adequate facilities for health, learning, working and leisure, which meets their requirement and also needs. So in Malaysia, we have some sort of affordable housing such as Rumah Selangorku, My First Home, which are targeted for B40 people and M40 people. So the development of affordable housing, people will be able to own a house at minimum cost. So there are various types of affordable housing schemes and programs and also policies which introduced by the government of Malaysia, such as My Home, dan Perumahan Rakyat Satu Malaysia, Prima, Rumah Mesra Rakyat, program Rumah Mampu Milik, program Penyelenggaraan Satu Malaysia, My Deposit Scheme and also My Beautiful New Home. To begin, what is actually housing preferences? So according to Azmi et al. 2020, he mentioned and stated that the housing preferences is the multi-dimensional exercise which involving the tenure, options, housing types, neighborhood and locations. However, according to Han et al. 2017, he stated that the housing preferences is a decision-making process to buy a house which is commonly faced by the first-time home buyer that involved a lot of procedures and financial resources in order to buy the new house. As stated in the slide, there are some literature from the other authors from the other state which stated about the housing preferences from the perspective of buyer. So according to Molina E and Algamas M 2018, he stated that the housing preferences from the perspective of buyer is building quality and material, neighborhood safety, cleanliness, quality and thermal comfort. However, according to Mohana A, B and Al-Ghatani A 2019, he stated that the housing preferences from the perspective buyer mentioned that they will consider the lot size, floor area and also number of bedrooms. According to Sundrani et al. 2018, he stated that the housing preferences from the perspective of buyer is considered the price, product, location and also security. Next is the literature review about the preferences elements for house buyers, which are extracted from the case study which conducted on towards the My Selangorku affordable housing scheme. So the elements or preferences for the house buyer is price, affordability, location, house design, space standard, and also services and facilities provided. So for the element of price affordable or affordable price, the price will reflect the individual ability to pay the housing installment, which is stated by Azmi et al. 2020. Moreover, for the elements of location, they will prefer a location of the house which is located near to town facilities, yet give a good access for them to access the main road, which stated by Azmi et al. 2020. Moreover, for the elements of house designs, they will consider the size of the unit, the number of bedrooms, and availability of extra land for their garden in a house, which very significant for them. To continue, for the elements of space standard, Azmi et al. 2020 stated that the space area was referred as to the number of bedrooms, bathroom, land area and also built-up area. Finally, the last element is services and facilities. So the services, the buyer will consider affordable or housing or development which are located near to facilities and services. So facilities and services such as security service, cleanliness, parking space are some of important aspects which considered by the house buyer before they are deciding to buy a house. So that's all from me. Thank you for watching.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Izzah binti Khairul Azmi. I will present about the literature review of the case study which is house affordability. According to VERM 2022 state that housing affordability as debated in the economic literatures is considered one of the most critical issues facing households today. Then, a lack of affordability significantly impact one's life as it can lead to poor quality of living, increased commuting time, financial stress, issues in family dynamic, especially in young families with children, and low birth rate. Besides, according to Department of Statistics Malaysia, the B40 and M40 are groups of people with household incomes at the medium level. Malaysians are divided into three incomes group which consists of B40, M40 and T20. The public and private sector in Malaysia are engaged in the construction of low-cost, medium-cost and high-cost housing. Especially in urban regions like Kuala Lumpur and the Klang Valley, these three types of housing have contributed to rapid economic development and a rise in housing demand. There are several different types of low-cost housing programs for the low-income group, which is B40, including the One Malaysia Civil Servant Housing, the People Housing Project, Housing for the Hardcore Poor, and program under Syarikat Perumahan Negara Berhad, which is SPNB. As a result, Selangor only has one affordable housing initiative called as Rumah Selangorku. Then, Al-Harbi 2022 said that numerous studies on affordable housing place a strong emphasis on the cost of a home and how it's related to a family's income. Al-Harbi 2022 concentrated attention on the availability of affordable housing for families with varying affordability demands. According to Verum et al. 2023, affordable housing may still be a long way from being within the means of many households, and he suggests that policy development was the key to increasing housing's affordability. Besides, Al-Harbi 2022 also state that housing costs should not collectively exceed 30% of gross annual income. Affordable housing provision in developing nations may be faced with some encumbrances. To solve this issue, some nations launched a number of laws to support environment-friendly, cost-effective housing for their residents. Then, Al-Harbi 2022 claimed that it might be difficult to provide remedies through policies from CHIPS housing. The first set of policies is to map out and develop a vacant city land for residential households. Second is local council should be rewarded for facilitating the places for plain housing. Third is there should to be a system for expediting land use permit and giving state and local council money for affordable housing top priority. And the last one is incentive should be approved to attract investor to housing development.
Hi, I am Luqman Hakim and I'm going to talk about the research methodology. So the research used secondary data as sources to complete the study. Data that has been gathered by someone else or for a reason other than the current research or analysis being done is referred to as secondary data. Secondary data is already known information that has been compiled from databases, books, research papers, government reports, surveys, websites and other sources. By compiling those information, we will be able to form our own opinion on the property market trends post-pandemic. To describe the study is conducted to assess the property market trends during post-pandemic COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic has affected the trend of demand and supply of everything, including properties in the real estate industry. By doing this, researchers are able to form a complete data set from various sources to describe and analyze in data analysis. So, the next presenter will be Muhammad Ridwan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Isha. My name is Muhammad Ridwan Bersan, and for my part, I will explain about the research design. Actually, research design is purpose to ensure that the research problem is adequately addressed. So the phrase research design is referred to strategy for rationally combining the study component. As a consequence, information of collection that has been looked into by developing a hypothesis and clearly communicating the result. The data actually collected in this case study is used to address research challenges and to evaluate property market development in the post-pandemic COVID-19 period. This research actually is a suitable tool for the secondary data due to the utilization of previous study and literature analysis to determine the property market pattern during the post-pandemic COVID-19 period. So for the secondary data part, basically secondary data can be acquired by engaging from the third party. One of the two primary data category is also secondary data, and primary data and secondary data actually these both sort of data are very helpful for research and statistics. On the other hand, secondary data sources of information are quite beneficial because they make it possible for academic and data analysis to create vast superior database and also resolution of corporate issue. Analysis also can enhance the standard and precision of the finding by incorporating secondary data into their database. The example of secondary data is such as book, unpublished sources, journal, newspaper, website, government record, and this is assumed that secondary data actually is quite easy to locate than primary data. Furthermore, secondary data sources are so numerous because they start playing an increasingly vital role in research and analytics. Because they are easier to source than primary data and can be repurposed to solve many different problems. Secondary data sources also becoming more and more important for analytics and research because they can be utilized to address a range of difficult and are simpler to obtain than primary data. And last but not least, although secondary data are typically well organized and also relatively trustworthy, they might not be as pertinent and firm for certain tasks as a primary data. That's all for me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Anisha Zani binti Nur Azlan, and I will be presenting the data analysis of this case study. The results and discussion of this case study is obtained from 120 responses of respondents, which comprises of 61 males and 59 females. 79.2% of respondents are married, ranging from 31 until 40 years old. Most of the respondents are working in the private sector, public sector, and other sector. 35.8% of respondents earned monthly income around RM2,501 until RM4,500. Majority of the respondents are the purchaser of Rumah Selangorku. The discussions on the findings of the case study, which include the 5 major elements of housing preferences, will be described further in this section. The first element is affordable price, which shows that most home buyers tend to choose the lower house price, which is less than 150,000. This is because the house price can represent the home buyer's affordability to buy the house, especially during the post-pandemic COVID-19. Many people have shifted their income group from high income group to the low income group because they lost a job and failed to earn money during the pandemic of COVID-19. Referring to the housing cost burden approach, an individual should not spend more than 25% to 30% of his monthly income on monthly mortgage repayments. The individual who spends more than 50% of his monthly income solely for housing is assumed to experience severe cost burdens. That is why the B40 and M40 group will tend to choose the lower house price based on their affordability and monthly income compared to the T20 group, which tends to choose the high house price since they can afford it. This is due to the fact that the pandemic COVID-19 has an impact on the home buyer's affordability to buy a property. The second element, which is locality, shows that the house near facilities was recorded as the highest in the home buyer's preferences, followed by good accessibility to the main road. Meanwhile, the house which is near the town was recorded as the lowest. In this issue, the developers play a vital role to collect sufficient data so that they are capable of providing properties that have compatibility in the price and location. The overhang of property is exacerbated by the unsuitable location, which is basically far from the city centre. This is because most home buyers tend to purchase an affordable housing scheme provided with a lot of facilities as it will provide convenience to the home buyers. For instance, home buyers should consider the accessibility from the house to healthcare in the event that the COVID-19 virus strikes the nation once more. Besides, a house that is near facilities is more valuable to home buyers. A successful affordable housing is when the home buyers should be able to reach the workplace in relevant commute times, accessible to education and essential facilities, as well as the ability to engage with the community. This explains that locality is one of the important factors to be considered when buying a home. The third element of housing preferences is space standard. Most home buyers tend to choose a house with a built-up area ranging from 1,000 square feet to 1,500 square feet. The post-pandemic COVID-19 causes home buyers to start reconsidering how spaces can support their physical and mental health when they spend a lot of time at home. According to Latchman 2010, space contributed as one of the crucial factors when considering purchase a house. The number of bedrooms and bathrooms in a unit of house is depending on the built-up area of the house. Basically, a house with a large built-up area is able to provide private spaces and fit in all the family members in the house. Thus, home buyers with many family members prefer to have a larger built-up area of house compared to small family members.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Irasha Imaira binti Nazaruddin. So now I will proceed the presentation of the data analysis. Moving on to the next element, which is the house design. So based on the data that has been analyzed, most home buyers tend to choose a terrace house compared to apartment and flat because it can affect the quality of living standards of the home buyers during the post-pandemic COVID-19. They tend to choose the affordable housing scheme with the surrounding or environment that can support good mental health. That is why the terrace house is most preferred by the home buyers. Besides, most home buyers tend to choose the affordable housing scheme with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms instead of 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms or 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom. The placement of the bathroom and bedroom and so on has an effect towards the choice of home buyers. The last element is facilities. This study mentioned that most home buyers tend to choose the affordable housing scheme with cleanliness services compared to good security services and functional CCTV services. Besides, most home buyers tend to choose the affordable housing scheme with an efficient lift compared to a sufficient parking lot and recreational area. This is because facilities have the greatest impact towards the purchasing decision of home buyers because various facilities provided around the properties will make the household daily routines convenient and more efficient. In conclusion, it has been found that the house price, locality, space standard, house design and facilities can influence the home buyer's preference toward affordable housing scheme. So each element has its own significant preference that can attract potential home buyers, especially during the post-pandemic COVID-19. It also has been found that the most crucial element that Selangor's home buyers consider when choosing affordable housing is the affordable house price. The location of the house came in second, while the built-out area or space standard came in third. However, the fourth ranked house design and finally the last ranked facilities. So it is hoped that the government will take into account all elements of the affordable housing scheme in Selangor to meet the demand of the affordable house buyers and able to control the affordable housing overhang units during the post-pandemic COVID-19. So that's all from me. Thank you.